Hello, my name is Zach, and this is my demo video for the complete game of mini golf. I'll be running through all 9 holes. I'll try and give my best description of what's happening in the code as we run through. So let's jump right into it. Hitting play in the game. Yeah, man. As you can see, first hole we have just a little straightaway sand trap that slows you down. You're gonna jump up here. What this does is it is a collision box that, when detecting if we're colliding with the ball, will apply an upwards force to the ball. Similarly, the orange box over there worked in the opposite effect. It was a sand trap that, when it detected that the ball was running through its trigger area, actually slowed the ball's momentum. Currently, that took 7 strokes to fill, and as you can see, it's already filled in that we have 7 strokes in the first hole. So let's move on to the next hole. Seemingly normal second hole. You could take this jump over there if you want to, or we could break this red line. Upon doing so, these little bricks line up, so that's a nice little animation effect. It gets triggered when the ball breaks that barrier. That took 4 strokes. Moving on to the third hole, we have a nice little teleporter effect. You get to pick which one you want to go to. I'm ready to game, so I typically know which one to go to. And look at that, in one shot, we're already near the end. Let's see if I can do this, and I messed it up. It looks like we're taking another 3 strokes for that one, but the teleporter one works very similarly. It's basically, again, collision area. Once it detects the ball is in the area, I have it set to where it changes the ball's location to set teleport points. So each of the corresponding areas already has that assigned, so it just changes the ball's position to those new areas. But as you saw, the velocity is still intact. That's why we were able to keep rolling, because we were only changing position. Moving on to this hole. A little bit of a breakout hole. If we go for a ricochet shot here, every time the ball makes a collision with one of these boxes, it destroys that instance. And we'll just look at that. 3 strokes, we're already in the hole. Now this one is a little more complicated. This one, we are these little portal guns here are instantiating these little blasters as they go through. Now hopefully I can make it through without getting shot by these, but basically what these are doing is it'll create the ball, and using the coroutines, it waits a couple seconds. Now those seconds do have a varied number between them. I didn't want them going at a too consistent of a route, so as you can see, like, some of these are closer than others, so there is a bit of a gap that you can predict, but it's not always the same. And you'll see our sand trap from the first hole makes a repeat just to get a little more challenge. So yeah, so I made it through. Now what would have happened if I didn't make it through without that is colliding with one of the lasers teleports you all the way back to the start. Kind of similar to the other hole, the teleportations, but this time, instead of the teleport area being a stagnant point, the teleport is on the move and you're trying to avoid it. This hole kind of different, not too much in terms of teleportation or special coding, but we are still using coroutines. Basically, we've got this little paddle here that's trying to sweep you off the edge. So the not so hard part of the game is just doing a little peggle, trying to get down. But you're going to want to get a little momentum going and not get swept off the edge. And I'm racking up a lot. So 9 strokes there. Look at that. Our scoreboard is already filling out. Moving on to the lesson now. Promise this isn't the camera. This hole is actually constantly rotating around. So there's the hole right there. That's where we're going to try and get to. So we're just going to go this way. And the ball just keeps on rotating around. Now, because the ball is a ball, there's only like one collision point on the ball, which is making it a little hard yep. So there is a bit of a glitch with getting caught in that corner. I apologize. I've had a hard time figuring out how to get away around that. Originally, this hole was going a lot faster, but yeah, I'm just trying to get in the hole really, because I did find this to be a little more complicated of a hole. We're just waiting for it to get around, but yeah, so it's not too complicated. It's just changing the rotation mechanic. All of that is parented to each other, so it's just telling it to rotate at a gradual pace. Nothing too complicated, but that's 11 strokes right there. Moving on to the 8th hole. Now, this one, if you remember Uppy from the first hole again, so we're reusing some of the code there, but taken to the extreme. I believe I set the magnitude of this to somewhere around 3,000-4,000. And it is possible to get a hole in one. You just got to go like maximum power straight on. And we're going to rocket straight up, ricochet, fly over here. And Now, I am happy I got a hole in one there. Now, very subtly, it was kind of visible there. I had a invisible collision area. I'll go back at the end of this to show you all the levels, but I had a invisible collision trigger area that was basically, again, a reuse of the sand trap to slow your momentum down, because otherwise you'd fly off the end of this. So I needed a way of slowing the player down once they ricocheted and bounced up here. Moving on to the last level. Now, this one, again, is a fairly easy one. However, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I've been doing a lot of game references throughout the course of this. And my favorite game series is Pokemon. So we're just going to go ahead and bounce up here. And I missed entirely. But as you saw, we're trying to get inside of the Pokeball. And you got to go up. We're trying to get inside that Pokeball. It's a little difficult. We bounce around a lot. I messed up again. And there we go. Finally made it in the hole with only 65 strokes. Holy cow, that was awful. I'm sorry there. Yeah, I did a bit of a jump cut because that was disgusting. But yeah, as you can see, very simple hole. Not a whole lot of code going on there, but just the complexity of those jumps is... Anyway, but as you can see, we have our now complete scorecard, 7, 4, 3, 3, 2, 9, 11, hole in one once, and then followed immediately like, oh, you thought that was easy? How about a 65 for your 9th score? If I go ahead and hit next level, we go to start menu, scoreboard is wiped. If we go ahead and start game, like I said, score menu is wiped. I'll just do a quick little, just to show you that nothing is carried over. I'm just going to fly over here. And look at that, 8 strokes, reset me there. So now going back into the code, in case you want to do a quick run through of that. So a lot of the code we've already shown in previous demos, but the differences for this one is just showing what's got up here. So the spinning code, again, for the one level that was constantly spinning around, again, very simplistic. It's just rotating. Now, what's going on here is this is actually where we are resetting the score at the end of the game, because we want to update the scorecard for every hole, but then we also want to reset it at the end of the game. Over here, for that one requirement we were talking about, where we just want to make sure that nothing else collides with the hole. And I don't have a lot of moving objects going on that could possibly collide with the hole trigger. However, just in case, we are testing that the object that's colliding with the event is actually the golf ball, and so that's the only thing that could possibly have us restart the game. Moving on, we have, again, just more stuff in terms of recording the score. This actually allows us to update the score every hole. So normally, before, the way the code was that only when you hit the next level button did it actually update your scores. Doing this allows me to, when you actually collide with the hole, that it then displays your score on that hole. And yeah, it's pretty simplistic. I'm not sure. There wasn't a whole lot of extra coding going on for this level, but thank you for this trimester.